You know what that is?
Fully loaded.
You know that's right. You know what I'm doing?
Drinking coffee?
I'm drinking Diet Dr. Pepper. Watch this.
You
That's right.
watching golf?
You darn right I am.
Mm-hmm.
Darn right I am. ESPN Plus. I'm so thankful for it. It just blesses my life.
Mm.
What are you doing, buddy? Happy Alabama Auburn Day.
Thank you to you as well. I'm looking at our stagnant internet here in Gig City.
So, dude, I got to tell you something. People are going to say, why is Jerry only showing his face? Your
I'll
camera
show
has
all of
moved.
me.
Do not do that. Jerry doesn't.
I
There
will
you.
show.
You do
I'll
show
show it
your
all.
underwear. There you go. Look at you. I see your shoulders now. You got good looking shoulders. You got to show them. You know,
What you know about them non-muscle? You got no muscle. Can't do. Stop it. Oh.
muscle, muscle, muscle. Dude, ain't a whole lot going on in Alabama Auburn world.
Well, it's about to
None.
really get heated up, though. July 15th to July 14th is when a lot of the official visits happen.
That's
So I'm
right.
excited to talk about some visits and um, high school football. Not a lot of spring ball going on around here, man. That's a
No,
sign of good programs.
the dead date. The dead date is like what the 25th in recruiting. You're done, right? June 25th. Is that right?
Something like that. I don't know exactly, but it's in that area for sure.
21st, 25th. I don't know. Jeremy Scott, roll tide, son. Roll tide.
Who? Who said
Jeremy
that?
Scott. Jeremy Scott. You know Jeremy Scott
I do.
because he is a roll tide fellow, and he does not like you
How
anymore. He
is
he sent me a text. He don't like you.
he never liked me? That's okay.
Mhm.
It's okay. Not everyone's got class. Not everyone's got sophistication. Speaking of how's Bama's baseball been, Jeremy? I know there's softball. They got a couple young freshman softball players that I don't think they're playing too much this year, but
Mm.
Jeremy, they're going to be legit. They got some. I don't. How do you?
In softball,
I got careful. Yeah, I'm gonna say you got to be careful how you say this. These young ladies are going to be studs. They're just incredible ball players. So the
easy,
future is bright. Well, I
easy.
said.
You said what you said.
I did.
Well, I'm proud of you, Jerry. You know why?
Nope.
Because
I'm not used to that. So
because I didn't talk to Kelly, but the way you're taking care of your bride right now, she's got to have some stuff, some surgery, and you're taking care of her. And I'm proud of you,
yeah,
man. You're doing good, man. Proud of you. But if you're asking
I
how Alabama's
appreciate that.
schedule, baseball schedule is, it's 32 and 19, and no, 12 and 15 in the
What
conference. We're not that good.
I wasn't sure how their pitching staff was going to be. That
Yep.
they lost Luke. Luke transferred in. We grew up playing ball with his dad. Um, he transferred over to LSU, and the kid is legit.
Luke who?
So the rich get richer as far as Holman.
Oh
They
yeah.
call him Money. Money Holman.
You
He was number 35. You guys.
you talking about old Belt Luke Dollar Bill Holman?
No, same family, but no.
You talk? Oh, you talking about the other one? Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know, Jerry.
Yeah, yeah, you knew.
Yeah, I did
You're
know.
just trying to catch up brother. So, hey, and
I,
if our internet looks a little raggedy, it's because they're working in our neighborhood. The church and my house is in the same neighborhood, and we're trying to get to be gig city level, as our great mayor of Rainbow City, the Right Reverend Joe Taylor says. Uh, so we are fighting through those issues.
well, fighting is the word that we use when you are in the Baptist church.
Oh, that's fair.
That's
How's
right.
everything in the Nazarene church?
Oh,
Have you heard from 260?
I ain't heard from 260, man. Hey, so speaking of Alabama and
What about
how,
Fat Daryl? You heard from Fat Daryl? No?
hey,
All right.
half a dub, half a dub. All right. So,
Let's talk Alabama, man. Let's get into
yeah,
Alabama talk.
yes.
Go,
Let me get in there. So, Alabama
please.
is, we're excited. We've got another visit coming from five-star athlete Dijon Lee, quarterback 2025 class
Hmm.
from Mission Vallejo. Is that how you say it,
It
Jerry?
is Mission Vallejo. That's right.
Yeah, Mission Vallejo, California, and Mission Vallejo High School, where a lot
You could
of
have went there when you were in high school.
I could, but I want to come out a five-star athlete like this young man. This
No, but
kid
you are all
is
about Vallejo.
he's a cornerback. This kid, this is exciting for us. This is exciting. I want to say this: if you're a five-star athlete, Alabama should be your school. I'm just saying. Anyway, he's coming on June the 21st, right before the drop dead date of or the
You said the
blackout
drop
date.
dead
I
date.
said drop dead, the blackout date of the 25th. So I'm excited about him
Okay.
coming. And then there's a another big cornerback. He was a wide receiver in high school. He still is. He in his junior year. I'm talking about Quincy Porter. He's being recruited as a cornerback. He's a four-star athlete from Bergen Catholic in New Jersey. That's a long way
Bergen and
away.
yeah, they send a
Academy.
lot. Notre Dame. Notre Dame gets a lot of kids from
Yeah,
Bergen Catholic.
yeah, that's right. That's what I saw. This kid had 48 receptions last year, his junior year. I think it was 16 or 1,670 something yards, 16 touchdowns. He's coming to Tuscaloosa this weekend to visit.
What's his
So
name?
it's Quincy Porter. Quincy
I'm not
Porter.
familiar with him, but
He's
I'll go watch some
yeah,
film on him.
he's 6'3", 190 pounds.
Ooh, that's a great size for a corner.
Yeah, great look. Alabama's got some other, and there's a kid that's kind of going under the radar. You'll know him. I didn't, but he's under the radar. He's 6'3", I believe, and he's 310 pounds. He's a defensive lineman. He's a three-star athlete. Landon Simmons from Hatfield Academy. Listen where he's from. Flowood, Mississippi.
I know all
Uh,
about Flowwood.
You do know a whole lot about Flowwood. You know how to spill stuff and everything. And we know about we played a great golf tournament down there a couple years
We
ago in
did.
Flowwood.
We did.
And ain't nobody you go to Flowwood, you're going intentionally. There ain't nothing but a golf course and
You
a
don't
great high school.
accidentally show up in Flowwood. It just don't happen. Oh, you remember what was spilt in Flowwood?
Uh
Look
coffee,
right here.
coffee. I got you. I got you. Yeah. So Alabama's got some good recruiting stuff going on. We lost Mr. 3 points a game. He's going to Oklahoma in basketball. I'm not even going to give the ability of saying his name.
Don't.
So not going to say his name, but you do need this kid on your bench, and he's a good six guy coming off the bench, and but he's going to Oklahoma, going in conference, transferring. So.
That's so weird to say.
I know it is, and it's so weird.
Yeah.
And make sure you say that tomorrow to Major when you meet with Major, the former rugby standout at Oklahoma.
Mhm.
When you meet with him tomorrow, so let him know. Tell him we
Man,
give him that.
I got Matthew Cherry getting on my language for saying War Eagle. He's always going to hold me accountable, and he's going to hold a brother
It
accountable.
is a curse word, Matthew. It's a curse word. He be talking stuff, man.
You know how
So
hard
what's
it is
going
for me to
on?
say?
What's going on down on the plains?
Man, it's a huge couple months coming up for recruiting. They got some great visits locked in, but they got some kids, man, that I'm not a big proponent of. A 5-star ranking really don't mean a whole lot to me. I don't really get into that. You're going to be good athletes, good measurables. If you go to certain camps, you'll get these rankings. Um, there's way more 3-star players playing the NFL than 5 stars. So let that
Yeah,
sink in. I think it's about. It's always good to have a 5-star, right? Because some of these kids are can't miss prospects. But I don't pay too much attention. 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, really not that big a deal to me. It's about the
right.
athlete, the size. height, speed, strength, weight, explosiveness, those kind of things is really what matters. And more importantly, what happens on the football field. There's some kids, man. Justice Terry, that's a name to remember. Committed to USC, but Auburn is really, really going after this guy. And if you're committed, why are you taking other visits? So this guy has he has a visit locked in. But let's talk about Malik Audrey from Opelika, big defensive lineman. He committed already committed to Auburn, and this kid's 6'5", almost 6'6", 320 defensive lineman. Watch some film in the playoffs. The dude's legit, and I love the way Auburn is building their class around defensive linemen and offensive linemen. Okay. When you look at Alabama, when you look at Georgia, when you look at the Michigans and USC's, not USC, they freaking suck. If you look at Ohio State, some of those teams, when they're winning championships, is because they have a dominant offensive defensive lineman. And that's the way Auburn is taking this recruiting process. A guy that's really under the radar, I think, can play anywhere. He's a big 6'5", 231-pound kid out of Alpharetta, Georgia. His name is Ryan G, spelled Ghea. So I may be pronouncing the last name wrong. Plays in Milton High School, won a state championship last year. He's only a 3-star prospect, but this kid blocks. He threw a touchdown pass. He's an incredible tight end. I think he's way under the radar for whatever reason. 6'5", about somewhere between 230 and 240. This kid is going to be a player. He's locked in. But again, I always say, follow the visits. That's how I kind of see who's going where. Follow the visits. So when you look at the upcoming visits for Auburn, right? They got 2 kids in tomorrow. They got a kid from New Jersey at Paramount Catholic. It's a little north of Bourbon Catholic. He's a 6'5", 320-pound tackle. He's the number 2 rated in the state of New Jersey. And for him, he's got down between 4 schools. It's a battle between Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Penn State.
Oh,
that's a strong 4, right?
Yeah,
Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Penn State. So the kid is dynamite in the fact that this will be his second visit. His first official visit is pretty special. And they got a kid from Leesburg, Georgia, which is north of Atlanta, around Beaufort, I believe, Lee County.
I think so. Yep.
He's a running back, man. The guy is just special. Last name is Cromer, Kromah. These names are tough, right? These names. His first name is Ousmane, 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 running back. So he'll be on campus tomorrow. Then their next big one is the 31st. They got wide receivers, but they got a big defensive end, tight end, offensive tackle, defensive tackle. That's where they're looking like. But I want to talk 5-star quarterback, the number 1 rated quarterback in the country, who's committed to USC, Julian Lewis.
Here we go.
Coming to visit Auburn. He has fallen in love with that staff. Not to be confused with Julian Lewis, the kid from he is from Carrollton, Georgia. We all know about the quarterbacks. Who was from Carrollton? Was it Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields? One of those 2 were from that area.
So are you talking about Julian Lewis from Carrollton?
Correct. Julian Lewis from Carrollton. He's committed to USC. This kid is a highly rated 5-star. Why are you taking these visits? This will be the 4th time that he's been at the Plains. And where there's smoke, there's fire. This kid is game changing. He's going watch his film.
He's going to Auburn this week.
Oh no, no. He's going to be on the 14th, which is June 14th, which is right before the dead period starts. Which is it's a great spot to be in. It's not that far from Auburn. Here's the difference. See, USC throws money at these kids.
Right.
Let's talk Notre Dame for a second. Notre Dame does not give NIL money to high school kids.
Right.
They choose to, or if they do, it's very little. They choose to invest to keep kids from transferring schools or going pro. That's how we kept our defense intact. that's where they choose to invest their money, not necessarily high school kids. USC does it differently. They give a ton of money away to these high school kids.
Sure.
Some of these kids are taking the money and then leaving and going somewhere else. So I know Congress is trying to get involved to say, hey, well, if you do that and you leave, you got to get money back.
I
So
agree.
that's gonna hurt some of the kids right now that are not gonna hurt those kids now, but in the future, the way like USC is trying to just buy people, the way Oklahoma is just trying to buy people, Miami really just trying to buy people. It's going to change that a little bit. Not really going to affect Notre Dame that much because they choose to invest in their own kids to keep them there.
Right.
So pretty excited about that. But this Julian Lewis, man, the kid, if Hugh Freeze can somehow, what's up, Blake Matthews?
I'm watching some of his videos right now. He's a big Twitter star. He's blown up on Twitter. His videos are all over. X. This guy looks great.
Alabama, he is, man. It's a quick release, good arm strength. He reads. Coming to a senior year, a lot of quarterbacks haven't had the quarterback coaching. Let's look at Deuce Knight. I'm obviously going to always go back to Notre Dame. Bama's really trying to get this kid. He does not read progressions. He's never been in a offense with a highly touted quarterback coach. So right. Deuce Knight is way behind a Julian Lewis as far as refinement right now.
Okay.
I think Deuce Knight could be the number one pick in the NFL draft down the road because he has all the tools. It's just not coachable, right? Kids develop at different levels, and right there in Mississippi, I guess not a lot of coaching for quarterbacks in Mississippi, I guess. And Deuce Knight's not getting the coaching that Julian Lewis is, and it shows. Deuce Knight would be, a top 1-2 commit right now in the country, but he's only a 4-star.
Right.
Well, if you look at his strength, the way he runs, those kind of things, man, he's unbelievable. But that's the difference in these kind of quarterbacks. And right now, Julian Lewis is head and shoulders above most everyone else in the country.
Wow, that's huge, man. That's huge. Well, I hope y'all
Jeff, you got a comment there. Yeah, Matthew's got a comment about McClain. He wants your thoughts on McClain.
What do you say? Who are we talking about here? I don't know who we're talking about. You're saying Blake Matthews said what now?
No, Blake Matthews said Alabama and Auburn are playing baseball today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Matthew Cherry wants to know your thoughts on I can't say his first name. Is it Cormani? Cormani McClain, McClain. Is that right, Matthew?
The commit to Florida?
Where else is he looking?
The guy that's leaving Dion? Is that who we're talking about?
I'm all for anybody leaving Dion.
He committed to Florida Wednesday, yesterday. From what I understand, he's number 1 ranked corner in the class 2023. Isn't that right? The guy that came out, he's the Colorado guy, right? Is that who it is?
Yeah, well, he didn't put the work in from everything I saw, and I don't know the true story, but I know he wasn't very good at practice from what I saw. Okay. Is that who you're talking about, Matthew?
The kid from Colorado.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him. He he was downplayed, and Dion said you didn't put the work in. You thought since you're the number 1 rated recruit that you can just miss practice and miss meetings and those kind of things. Dion's not going to tolerate that. No. I think the kid is a special talent, but I think he's a little bit entitled. But that's what Deion Sanders is, right? He is about entitlement and media.
I mean, Deion ought to be able to take this guy. What he's ran into probably is a guy that's just like he was at Florida State. And let's just face it, I love Deion Sanders. I love primetime.
Yeah.
But he's no Bobby Bowden. Bobby Bowden knew how to call Deion Sanders and coach him. And Deion cannot coach Deion. Let's just be honest. I'm not saying this McClain, I'm not saying the McClain kid is a Deion type athlete, that he's that good. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about his attitude and his coachability. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, the kid got a big bag And what do you do after that?
See,
You
Papa
don't
got a
go to
brand new
work.
bag. Yeah. Hey, and
You
here's the thing:
did. So
they're not giving those bags out in McDonald's sacks anymore, are they, Jerry?
no, man. So Auburn, I don't know how they're going to deliver their Cam Newton money.
Oh my gosh. Uh, yeah, I agree. Craig Lett said he's
But the kid's a
166
talent.
pounds. Yeah, but you
He is
see,
small.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a little fella. Yeah.
Super twitchy though. He's super twitchy, Jeff.
Well, that can mean a couple things.
Well,
He has been
he's
in
he's
Colorado. He's
really
been in Colorado for a year.
so maybe he's a little calm than what he was, not as twitchy. He is unbelievably. He's an athlete. He needs to be coached hard.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He needs to go somewhere where they got a lot of discipline. And we've all watched it on Netflix. Florida ain't the school. Florida
Nope.
ain't the school for that.
Nope.
You want
He's
to be
gonna
a murderer?
he's gonna get some
That's the
trouble
school.
down there in Florida. He better be careful. Um,
Yeah, I don't know if that's the program. And they got the toughest schedule in the country, I think.
I was speaking of schedules. I was just looking at Alabama's schedule. They released three of our times. We got 6 p.m. on ESPN against the Hilltoppers. That's the kickoff at Bryant Denny. Then
Okay.
we've got a 12 p.m. or excuse me, 11 p.m. start against Wisconsin on the September the 14th. And then we do know that Georgia and Alabama will be playing on the 28th of September. That'll be the big game on ESPN or ESPN3 and ABC at 6:30 p.m. But let's look at schedules real quick.
Okay.
I know we've got to get off here in a few minutes. I've got somewhere to go, and you've got obviously something to do. Um, but the Hilltoppers, a lot of times people are looking over these guys, right?
Very good
Uh,
program. Very good.
they are a very good program, and they're coming in with something. They're saying, hey, look, we got DeBoer in here. It's a new day at Alabama, but it's also a different day at Western Kentucky. And so they're coming in and looking to destroy Alabama, do some work, do some damage there. Um, Obviously, the longevity, the athletes, the history of Alabama, and the coaching, I guess, is going to transcend. I think Alabama pulls that out. But you got South Florida. They're going to throw the ball all day. They're just going to run, throw it, throw it, throw it, throw it,
Man,
throw it.
they're good.
They
They're
are
good.
good, and they're going to air it out. So we're going to see what our cornerbacks are about on that game. Can they cover the deep ball? Are they going to be able to cover some of those crossing routes and some of those different little things? And then Wisconsin, that's the one I want to talk to you about. I want to get your
Mhm.
thoughts on that because you have studied Wisconsin for years. You know that you don't you guys play them?
Mm-mm.
Y'all don't play them. So why do
No.
you talk about Wisconsin a lot? So what do you think? What happens when Alabama goes to Madison on
Well,
the
I hate
14th?
Wisconsin.
But right, a
Yeah,
bad game. You don't
I don't
like
like Wisconsin at all. But what I do, I just like up and coming programs. So I pay a lot of attention on. And when you hired Luke
yeah,
Fickle's an amazing coach, man. So when they hired Luke Fickle, you knew they were going to they're going to turn he's going to turn that program around, right? He did it at Ohio State. He's coached at the top of the line level. Our quarterback, our wide receiver coach, we went and got from Luke Fickle at Wisconsin, Coach Brown at Notre Dame. So Wisconsin's going to be big. They're going to be physical. They're going to be fast. They have some very big offensive linemen, but let's be fair. You guys should roll them, right? They're not there yet.
should
Uh, you should. They're
should.
just not there yet.
But is this going to be the real first test of Alabama's front when they go up against Wisconsin?
No, I think South Florida is probably better.
You really do. Okay.
I do. I do.
Okay. And then
But
obviously after that
again,
we got Georgia.
I'm yeah. Well, there's your test.
That's not a test. That's the main event, son.
Yeah. Well,
They
they were 7-6 last year, and they finished third in the Big Ten. So they're more than serviceable,
sure.
and they're a team that they can beat you, right? If you play your worst game, they play their best, but they're going to be coming into that game. It's going to be that's going to be circled. It's going to be their biggest game of the year. You're going to get Luke Fickell's best shot, but it comes down to can you stop them from running the football?
Right.
And the answer to that is absolutely. You don't run the football in Bama. It's not how you beat Bama.
No.
So you're going to get a lead. You're going to force them to have to throw the football, and you're going to dominate them. As for go back to Florida for a second, Matthew. Man, I think Florida's got a really good head coach. I don't think. Yep. I mean, you just can't look at wins and losses and say, "Hey, this is a good head coach," or "This is not a good head coach." Dude's a ball coach, but you're in a tough place. You're in the SEC against some teams that have great runs going on right now, and you have the toughest schedule on paper in the country, and it's not even close.
Yeah. All right, so going to Auburn's schedule real quick. There's a couple of games I want to get you to focus on. Alabama A&M is who you guys open up with, and then you guys have Cal, right? You have California.
Cal beat Auburn last year, and that's why I think Auburn's going to dominate them.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the game. I think Auburn's going. You're right. They're going to do something. But you got New Mexico State, right? Good, great. So you've got 3 home games right there in a row, okay? And then is it 4? Is it 4 home games? Where do y'all go? Let's see. Yeah, there it is. All right, so you got Arkansas. Is that right?
That's the first test.
Arkansas is going to be the game I want to talk to you about. I know we got Oklahoma, but let's focus on Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas, I think, is going to be the first test of the season, and they're a better team than people give them credit for. Last year, I mean, they got some athletes. They got a great running game. The quarterback can throw the football. That's going to be the first test, I think, is going to be Arkansas.
Really? So how do y'all get? How do you get 4? Is it 4 or 5 straight home games? How does that happen?
I think they open with 5.
5 straight home games.
Then they also go on the road. Georgia, Missouri, Kentucky, 3 in a row.
That's
on the road. So it's weird. The schedule's weird.
I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it.
Then they have 3. Then they have 3 home games in a row. Then they go to Tuscaloosa in the season, right?
Yeah, they do. You
got. But here's why this Arkansas game is so tricky. It's the classic look ahead. Right, you're coming off your homecoming. You got an early homecoming in early September against New Mexico, the Lobos. But then you got Arkansas. Then you got Oklahoma. If you're looking ahead to Oklahoma, Arkansas will beat you. Then it's going to be all about the quarterback play for Auburn. It's Peyton Thorne or bust at this point. I don't think he's the guy, man. I don't. I think Walker White's going to end up being the guy.
Wasn't he named the starter?
Who?
Thorne. Has he been named the starter yet?
No, they haven't named the starter, but it's Thorne. There's no question. He's got the most experience. He understands the offense. He's got a good skill set, man, but it just hadn't worked for him.
But he
just has not worked for
him. He threw 10 interceptions, right? 16 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't have that.
I think that's right. But, I mean, he's a good-looking kid, man. I mean, the kid's 6'2", 203 pounds.
And he can run the football. And in this RPO offense that Freeze is going to run, his skill set should mesh. But for whatever reason, it's not. Yeah. But here's Freeze is going to put the best person in that position to win. Trust me. Derek Nix is going to be lobbying to whoever he thinks is the best, being the offensive coordinator. But Freeze is running plays. And I don't think there's a portal option at quarterback. I don't think they're going to do that. I think, there's an interview coming up with Brown I want to listen to on Locked on Auburn Sports. I'm going to watch that video, see what he says. He's the number 2 guy. Walker White's going to end up being the guy. I think next year it's going to be Walker White. I think he just throws the ball different, man. He's just different.
The only thing I don't
true
like
freshman
about,
from Arkansas.
The only thing I don't like about Thorne is he's stupid good looking, and he's got this Superman. You remember how Clark Kent or Superman used to have that thing in front of his hair that was pasted to his forehead? That's what Thorne's got. I don't like it.
Well, he better tuck the football or it's really going to be pasted to his forehead. He doesn't know how to take a hit. And if you're running an RPO offense, you got to know how to take a hit.
Oh
You
my
do.
gosh.
So Matthew Cherry, you said Alabama A&M is supposed to be good this year, from what you understand.
And they
Good on what
probably will
level?
be. Well, I mean,
In their division.
yeah, not on Auburn's level. No,
No.
but good. I would say. Do they play Troy this year? Does Alabama A&M play Troy? I'm
My
gonna look
money's
that
on
up.
Troy if they are. I think Troy is going to have. Troy lost some studs in the draft, and a
Right.
couple undrafted free agent signees who signed contracts in the NFL teams. Good program, but their coach, man, it's a brand new coach down there, and he is going to watch me. Troy in the next 2-3 years, man, is going to be more
You think
competitive than they already are.
that's going to be the stuff to go? Or the team
I think Troy
coach
is going to
there?
end up being very, very good, very good.
Let me look at that schedule. I'm interested. That
Okay,
may be a game you and I need to go to. So you got
I'm busy.
A&M, Alabama A&M, Auburn opens up with them. Let's see, where are they? They play Jackson State.
Jackson State.
Yeah, no, they don't. They play Miss. No, they're good. They do not play them this year. Dang it.
Yeah, Gerald Parker, man, is just he come from Notre Dame. That's how I know so much about him.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
an up and coming guy. He's going to do it the right way. So you got Notre Dame coaches now at Troy and Vanderbilt. Clark Lee's, the guy from Vanderbilt. That was his alma mater, but he was a incredible defense coordinator for Notre Dame for 2 years
Right.
until Vandy come and called him home. So what's the big games for Troy this year? I know Troy plays James Madison, right?
Yep, they do. Yep.
In
Football.
baseball, I don't know about
Oh,
football.
I don't know. They're playing James Madison this. Let me look.
I know in a few years they play Miami in football.
Uh, Memphis, Iowa. Ooh, they got Iowa.
Oh,
Florida A&M, Louisiana Monroe, um, Texas, Texas State. Ooh, it's like a prison. Texas State, South Alabama, Arkansas State, Coastal Carolina. That'd be a good game. Coastal Carolina, Georgia
mhm.
Southern, and Lafayette
Okay.
Raging Cajuns, and then they've got Southern Miss. That's going to be a test for both of those teams right there. But Troy wins that game. All right, man. Wow, dude, we literally like we were schizos right there. We went from Alabama, Auburn to Troy to A&M and to I mean just everywhere we could possibly go. I'm so excited that we're back doing these shows. Thank you to Fully Loaded and to if you want to sponsor the show, we need you. We need your help to keep going. But hey, Trent Thrasher and company, you guys are killing it, and we're so thankful for you and what they do for us. Last words, J. W. White.
Well, hey, we got a lot. We're going to be talking a lot of recruiting coming up. I'm going to be following the visits and let guys know where who's
Yep.
going to be visiting Auburn and Justice Terry. Pay attention to that name, but also Julian Lewis could be. When there's smoke, there's fire. That would be an incredible pickup for Auburn.
I can't wait. We will see you